Hello and welcome to Color Street with Bernadette. As you guessed, I am your Color Street stylist, Bernadette. Today on my first episode, I am going to do a how-to on how I apply Color Street nail polish to my nails. So this is not a how Color Street says to apply their nail polish. I do make some mistakes that can happen. Now let's get started styling our nails. So I have here Grow with the Flow. And as you can see, there's like 3 different designs that go with it. So I'm just gonna pick how I want it. I already trimmed my nails to the size that I want them, filed them, and then pushed down my cuticle, cut off my cuticle, and I put 2 layers of clear nail polish on both sides. So that's how I normally start mine. But the only thing you would have to do is file, of course, and if you want to push down your cuticle and tear off your cuticle or take it off with, a cuticle remover. And now I'm going to open my packet. This is all from Grow Your Flow, so it is not at all like a mix of 2 of them or anything like that. So of course Color Street gives you the file, so the file and a nail prep pad, alcohol wipe to clean off your nails after you file them. So this other stuff is if you need it. You don't have to do that. Okay, I always keep those for just extra, because I have my own stuff. Oh, this one's a nice, just pulls right out. So there we go. And now I'm going to pick, I have my little scissors, and I'm going to pick which ones I want on what fingers. Sometimes, because it's only one size that fits my finger, kind of chooses it for me, especially if I'm just picking from one packet. So like this one, and I'll lay it out. So let me move these out of the way since I already used these. These are the ones I'm going to use besides the scissors when I have the Color Street. So my thumb, I didn't cut it close enough. My thumb, I need to have 1, because it's just, these aren't long enough for my stubby thumbnails. And I can use this one too for my thumb if I wanted to, but I really like this one. So I'm going to put this over here, and these are the ones I'm going to be using for my thumb. And then let's see, for my pinky, I'll go with that one for my pinky. Which really only leaves these 3. Look at that. Make sure I'm not giving myself too many fingers here. 2, 4, 5. Yeah, I did it right. So that's what I'm going to have. This is, let's do my left side. It's easier. My thumb, pointing finger, middle finger, index, and my pinky. There we go. And these you can stretch a little bit too. So I'm going to show you how I do them, how I was taught. Now Color Street has their way of doing it. Which is not putting nail polish on, because it can be a lot harder. It doesn't pull off Oh, I should have tested it. Let me do it on this one. I'm using wax paper here, so it won't stick as much. So I do need to stretch it a little bit. So that's what I'm going to go ahead and do with this one. Just stretch it a little bit. Just a little bit. Not a lot. And this will stick to itself. And it's not easy to come apart. So I kind of have to do this in one go when I touch it. Oh, and normally I do my thumb last. Oh well. So my thumb, you'll see, is the one I use to push it down instead of using my finger. Which you can just use your finger. I'm just being fancy. Like that. Like I could have stretched it a little bit more. Or put it more in the center. Which it just touches these sides. So it's just right. I could have just stretched it a little bit more so it can reach the end. But I didn't want to rip it. Especially being videotaped. Filmed. And I just find that putting the nail polish underneath helps with the bubbles that sometimes there may be. And this one I'm going to do just like how Color Street wants you to do. See, I could do my other one, but it's just right there. Color Street wants you to do it like that. Or more like this. And then using your finger, which is easier without any nail polish. It's just that it'll stick if I do it. So this is kind of like my replacement for my finger. And this will dry. This part will dry. I'll give it like 30 minutes, and then I'll file it. I'll file it, and then I'll put a coat, 2 coats of clear nail polish on, which again you don't have to do. I just think it lasts even longer. For me, it lasts 2 weeks. So like I said, you're supposed to start with your pinky first. Guess I just got a little nervous. Oh no, I ripped it. So I'm going to have to use my other one. This last time too when I was filming. Like I said, you could have stretched it. But I think this one's about my size already. Oh, that's super cute. I love this one. It's the first time I put it on, just so you know, but I just love the way it looks. Like right now, all that glitter. The pink and the glitter. Gorgeous. And that would have been long enough for me to put on my other pinky. But like I saw, I accidentally ripped it when I was taking it off. So I'm going to do my other pinky Oh, and I could just trim these off. I don't need to have that much on there while it dries. Throw my trash over here. Do my other pinky. And I think for me, doing my left side is just so much harder. But it is a lot easier with Color Street than if I was trying to paint my nails. That's where you do your thumbs last. Right. Oh, I didn't do that one. Okay, good. Then I would be able to push with my nail like that, but I don't want to mess up the Color Street one. So I just use this. Make sure there's no bubbles or anything. Oh, I see how I went not enough over this way. I could have stretched it, but I also didn't center it, so that's why there's excess there. And so I normally just take this tool here, and it's usually a bit flatter, and I can just like trim it off. And we'll deal with that later once it's more dry. And for the sake of the video, I'm just going to cut this off. Let's put these away. I put them in a Ziploc bag. But it's usually just for one use. It's my thumb. See if I can show you this one. And see, I'll be able to use my thumb, but because I did it first for some reason, it's a lot harder for me. And I also didn't test fit. See, that one's long enough. So I'm going to show you what I do, which is just trimming it. There we go. Now I get more for my dime. Now these do dry out if you leave them out. It is real nail polish. Okay, so that one's done. So that's normally what I do with all of them, except for my thumb. Oh, so let me test fit just to make sure. And there's like a little trim here that gets cut off, so that's where I'm going to. So I do have excess. And again, my thumb was not supposed to go first. That is not centered. Which is definitely harder. It's easier to take off when the nail polish is dry, as well as when there's no nail polish. That's why I'm having so much trouble. And I also can't see it with this thing on. Let me just take it off. Okay. And it probably could have been closer with like this one. That would have stretched it more. But to me, that looks just fine. I could have also used a bigger one. So this one I save. Let me show you the ones I save. That way you see what can be used for later. When you mix other nails together to get, you know, cool designs. And I forgot to test fit again. So as I see, it needs to be a little bit wider. But you do that when all this stuff is still on. That way it doesn't stick to your nail. So that's a test fit. As you see, it's not as wide. But that's where you can use the bigger ones. Uh-oh. I always make so many mistakes. Well, this one would have been one that was saved. So now I gotta not mess up this time around. And so like I said, I definitely need to save this one so I don't mess up another one. It definitely does take a few times. I think this is like my third or fourth time doing this, but it's a little bit harder when you're trying to videotape and get good angles. And so this one, I'm going to get rid of that bottom part. See how there's a little line there? And this is where I can just take the nail and go underneath. Now I'm not pushing too hard because I'm going to go with the other thing. I'm just showing you you can, your thumb comes in handy. And so this one, because I have a nail already on there and I'll polish, I normally just use this tool. I'm just going to keep doing that. Oh, let's test fit. This one's pretty big, so my last one on here. Yeah, so this one I don't need a stretch. Come on, Bernie, stop messing up. Okay, I could save part of that, but I'm just gonna, for the sake of the video, move on. This is definitely instead of a how-to, it's more of a what could go wrong. It's as easy as it's supposed to go. No, the only I could have done that with the first one. See, there's a little lump there. That's my nail, though. I should be able to, it's not air or nothing. Should be able to push it down. But I can't, so I think I did something with my nails. So that's where it's almost done. Like I said, any excess I go along with this one. And just cut it off by making an indent into it and breaking it off. And I can also do that with if my nails are a little bit longer, but I always do little stubbles, and I can do it easier and a better curve to my nail. Okay, so I just got these two. So now this is me trying to do my best with my left hand, and it's so much easier for me to do it with Color Street than trying to paint it. Oh my gosh, it looks horrible when I do it that way. That's why I like Color Street so much. Besides the designs are awesome. But I will put a link to shop on the screen, as well as in the description, so you can see, you can get your own designs. My last one. See a little bubble there, and I just go like that. All gone. All those bubbles. Which I think it's easier with this tool here to do. I just pull it. As I'm pulling it, take the two sides so it does a nice curl, and I turn it. So now it's ready to go underneath with this little tool. That way I don't mess up my nail, because you can do it with your thumb. I'm just pushing it underneath the other nail, or my nail. Trim off the excess. And like I said, I could have saved 3 of them. That wasn't such a goof. And these could have been used, but you know, I messed up. I at least get another one. So I have all these to do other designs with. Different types of things. My toes are pretty small. I can put them on my toes. I can put them with other designs. These especially I can do with Valentine's Day, have a little mix there. Or just the month of February, or for whatever. Breast cancer awareness. Not that this one is part of it. This is a summer one. But this right here, you know, there's just so much you can do with pink. Is what I'm trying to get at. So I'm going to clean all this up, and I'm going to let my nails dry for about 30 minutes. And you can, I've done it where you do it right away, but I like to make sure that it's easier to do, and I'll show you at the end. I'll have some photos, and you can see my Instagram as well for Color Street. But this is what they look like right now. I'll be back. So I switched my light over. See if it's better lighting, but I'll see later. It hasn't been 30 minutes. I'm pretty much doing this right after I finished. I just cleaned up. I'm going like that, picking it up. I'm just doing it fast. And the whole point is to take this part off that should be dry, which I probably should have started on this side, but I always do my right side first because that's why I sometimes use these tools. It's easier when it's dry to pick it up. But I do the harder side first, pretty much. You see that one because I put it underneath so easily. There might still be some under my nail, but it comes off pretty easy. Just a lot easier when it's actually filed. So, you know, you use whichever file you want. I just hold it like that, and it makes it easier for me. I'm gonna finish that one after, at the very end. I'll go over it again, just so you can see all of them. And it's just filing it so it just separates from my actual nail. I don't want to go like that because then it'll just pick up the nail polish. It's still kind of drying, you know. It's starting to hurt. I'm going to do it to all of them. Before I take it all off, but for the video I just kind of just showing you what I'm doing so you don't get lost. See how it just peels right on off, so it doesn't stick to my other nail. And I'm going to use this tool to pick it up, whichever side's easier. Whichever easier to use a tool, to not use a tool. Oh, see, I messed up that part. But just like nail, that's why I use a tool. But just like how nail, like, you know, sometimes when it's still wet, you can do things with it. It's still pliable. When it's drying, this is too. So don't get too scared. You can also double up, remove the nail polish. And I'm also going to paint it, which makes it look nice too. You see, that one's just about done, except for this part here. This is probably what I'm going to want to wait. Let's see if I can take it off. Oh, see, that one's picking up. But for the sake of this nail, I'm going to use this. You see, now it's close. The excess is taken off. The same thing with this one. Went over. So I just pick up the excess. Right now I still need to trim this part off. This is the one that had a little lump there. It's already coming apart. And because these are pretty much dry, all fixed up, I'm just gonna pull it. And it's my dominant hand, my right hand. It's a lot easier for me. Make sure there's none underneath there. Looks like this one still needs to get filed. I could have been using this the whole time. They are done, but I still do a clear coat, 2 clear coats. You don't have to. That's just what I do. So I have like a whole bunch of layers, which makes it a little bit harder when I take it off. But I seen that there's a video where it's just like 60 seconds of taking off Color Street. Haven't seen it, but definitely something to look into. So I'll probably see the next video for my next episode on here. But this is what they look like right now, and I can show you like pictures when I put that other coat on, the 2 clear coats. Alright, I'll be back. So this is my 2 clear coats on top of the Color Street, which the Color Street already has the top coat, base coat. Let me see. The Color Street already has the top coat color and the base coat. So you definitely don't need to do all the clear coats the way that I do it. I just think it sticks better and lasts longer for me. So it's entirely up to you. And I'll take pictures so you can see it better. You don't like the way you can see it on here. Alright. Well, thank you for watching. Take care, and remember to be colorful, be brilliant, be Color Street.